Hello, I am Pam, and this is my channel, Made by Pam. So, today is Friday. Granted, it's kind of late Friday. Yeah, sometimes it's hard to get things situated. But I've been working on sewing up some pants. So, the pattern I have been working on this week, which I told you last week I would be working on this, and so I am still working on it, of course. So I'm working on Simplicity 8855. It's a knit overalls pattern, but a while back I had made my son some, and then he was like, oh, then you just make some but not put the bib on them, and so just do the waistband around it. I'm like, yeah, I can do that. So, his one pair that he's wore like all the time, that he has enjoyed wearing, okay, he liked them so much that he kind of wore them out. Got big holes in the knees and just worn out, you know. There was no fixing it. So, he asked me if I could make him some more. So, while I was almost done with the other ones. Actually, I think I was pretty much done. The only thing I hadn't had done yet on my other ones I was making, which I have the pair right here, is that I didn't have the buttons on. I have the buttons on now, which is great. And I have the other one done too. But, I was working on his all week. Well, and these other ones too. And so I got one pair done yesterday because we had gone over to the in-laws, to my husband's parents, and his sister and his brothers, and everyone was there on his end of the family. So all of his siblings were there. His oldest brother and his wife and their two girls, and then his sister's, her 4 kids, and then his other 2 brothers that aren't married. So the whole family was there, and so we showed up, and it was good. We stayed for a couple of hours, and then the kids were done. So then we came home. All right. Well, that's kind of about what life is, you know. Kids haven't had school all week. So usually I would try to go on and do a live sometime during the week. That hasn't happened because I have kids home. So that's just not a possibility at the moment. But next week I will be going back into doing a couple of lives as I can. I don't know exactly what day yet. I still got to think about it. Alright, so you ready to see the ones that I do have completed? Of course you are. Alright, so this one is my pair. And I realized that the fabric was really kind of thin. And I live in a cold climate. So I added a little bit extra to mine. And I wish I would have really thought about that more previously and had added it to the other pair that I'm giving to my friend. But here they are. And I wore them yesterday. Like, the straps, they're kind of long, but that's only because I like to use a longer strap version of the pants. So the version that I cut the strap out for is that version right there. I do the longer strap because I found that doing the shorter strap that's for this other version, it just made this ride like way up. And so it was really uncomfortable for the top that I was like, you know what? I gotta have those straps a little bit longer. So that's why I have so much extra here. But yeah. And then on the back, I do just, I cut about that much off the top edge. And then I just sewed those on like that. And which they could have been closer. I could have ended up sewing them so they were, you know. And sometimes things just work out the way they work out. I did have to hand sew these buttons on. Yeah, I know, hand sewing. Jeez. Because I do have the buttonhole foot for my machine, and it will sew buttons. But how the thickness of this is, and that ridge there, and then the deep pocket there for the buttons, it just didn't quite work for sewing on the buttons with the machine. So I sewed on the buttons hand stitch. So I have some fabric. It's like a pajama fabric, and it's called apple bottom. And it's just like a knit fabric that's got quite a bit of stretch to it. So I can take the edges here and stretch a little bit. So it has plenty of stretch. And so I even lined this pocket piece here because it's the back side of this piece here. And if that piece was left unlined, I'd get a little bit cold in my hips where that pocket is. So I added that lining there too. But yeah, I have the back pocket, I have the front bib, and then I have this blue fabric on the back side of the bibs. And for this part of the pocket, because I kind of didn't quite have enough of this purple fabric to fully cut out the pieces. I have small scraps, but not a big enough piece to cut out the whole thing. So this is my pair, and it's fully lined with that fabric there. I have a couple of stray strings hanging out here. It happens. So I wore these yesterday, and I loved them, and it was great. Alright, so next pair is this pair. Yeah, they look just like that. Then I do have the inside has the blue, but this one does not have the lining. I had gotten it all put together and realized, you know what, I really should have probably put a lining. But I think it'll be okay. She lives in a warmer climate than I do. And then this back, the straps are closer together. Usually they would say to add the straps along the side, and so it kind of veers out. Kind of like how that is right there. So you got that piece, and then it veers out the sides. Well, I just find it a lot easier just for it to just come straight off the top. It just makes more sense to me. But yeah, so her pair is all done. And I will get those sent to her soon when I get her Happy Mail box started. And then, so I finished a pair for my son, and he is wearing them because he couldn't wait. But I have another pair that I finished here. And this one, it just has a waistband around it. It just has the cuffs on the bottom. It's kind of like a pair of sweatpants. So I have that pair for him. And then another pair here. So I have this pair for him. And now I have a shirt that I've used the same fabric to make that I've worn quite often. And so it is a fabulous fabric to use. And I have a lot of it. So, you know, making a couple pairs out of this fabric for him, it's a no-brainer. Okay. And then I do have another pair here. I have almost all of it done, but I am adding the bib to this pair. So it's almost done. Not quite, but I have the pieces here. I realized that I didn't quite cut out the pocket, the front pocket piece for it. So I don't have those done because I have to cut out the pocket. But the rest of it is done. So I can get that one finished. And then I also have this pair, and I do serge the ends on these because of the type of fabric it is. It is a knit fabric, but the little strings will kind of pull a little bit and make it a little unravelly sometimes. And this one I do still need to sew the waistband on. I haven't done that yet because I threw the fabric pieces in the washer because my son spilled his drink on my table and the fabric somewhat soaked up some of that drink, so it didn't get totally everywhere. It didn't even touch my books I have sitting there in the corner, so whew, thank goodness. But yeah, so I'm almost done with these, and those are what I've been working on. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 pair. And 2 of them are almost done, just not quite yet. So yes, I have been a busy sewing bee. You know. But yeah, that was Simplicity 8855. And then the other day I did get a phone call from one of my friends. I made her a purple denim jacket a couple years ago. Well, probably not a couple, maybe last year or 2. I don't fully remember, but I know I have it somewhere in my photo log, maybe on Instagram somewhere where I had shown that, because I have I put a stitch patch on it. So, my friend, it was probably last year, but she had asked for a purple denim jacket, and it needed to be like a 5X, which is quite big. And there really isn't any patterns out there that go that high. Not that I could find at that time. So I had gone on Walmart and I had ordered a 5X jacket, like a denim jacket, which was like $20. No big deal. And when I was making the other denim jacket, I should have made out paper pattern pieces, kind of like these pattern pieces that I have here for my overalls. I should have made pattern pieces from those denim pieces as I was working with it, and I did not. But I still have that denim jacket that I took apart to make the jacket, so I can still do that. But my friend had called me saying, hey, I'm with my daughter and she really likes my denim jacket, and she really loves purple. Do you think you can make her one? I'm like, oh. I might have enough purple, but I highly doubt I have enough purple. I could possibly pick some up. And then I'm like, I do have other denims. And I start naming off some of the denims I have. And she's like, oh, well, if you could make it purple and black, that would be great. I'm like, okay. So yesterday I spent part of the day searching my fabric bags, trying to see if I could find that black denim. Yeah. I don't know where I put it. I found some other shades of purple denim. I have 2 other shades of purple denim that's not the same shade as this one. And I'm like, oh man. But they're each about 2 yards. And, you kind of need like at least 3 yards to make this jacket. Because when I made it before, I had bought 5 yards. And I have like a 2-yard strip. But it's like, instead of being the full width, it's like half the width. Well, it's not like that. Because the full width is 60 inches and half width is like 30 inches. And so it's not the full width of what the fabric would be, but it's a 2-yard stretch. But with the denim and with the jacket, it's just not going to work for the full jacket. So she said I could do a collar blocked version, which would be great. So I'm going to have to look around and see what I can do. I might just end up having to go and buy some more purple denim. If they still have it. I looked on their website and I didn't see anything to what I wanted. It's like a cotton twill. So I'm going to have to go there myself and actually look and see. So we'll see when I can do that. Maybe next week when the kids are back in school, I can get that started. She asked me how long it would take to approximately get that jacket done. I'm like, I'm not sure, but I will try to have it done by Christmas. She's like, okay. And she's willing to pay for the jacket and stuff, so it's all good. There is one other thing. She wants a Jack Skellington or whatever. She wants a Jack on, like the Jack Skellington on the, like a little applique on the jacket. So I gotta figure out which Jack Skellington one she wants. And then I can get the embroidery pattern. I did go on Etsy and looked at some embroidery patterns. And I found a couple. But I want to make sure which one that she's going to want. So I need to like message her the designs that she can choose from. All right. So, what else? That's a lot of jabbering, huh? But yeah, so that's pretty much what I've been working on. And I've taken a little bit of time and done like little art projects and stuff here and there. And going to thrift stores. Yeah. Alright. Well, that's about it for Friday Sews. I hope you guys all had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Have a wonderful night. Talk to you next time. Stay creative. Bye now.